I don't like
branded.
It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
What's going on, guys? Logan JYA here, and as you know, Drytron was one of the best decks at YCS Hartford, and that's right, yours truly was also playing the deck. We did make day 2. We were one of 5 or 6 so players that made day 2, unfortunately losing out in the last round of the main event, but I still think I owe you guys a look at my list. Now, don't you worry, we're also going to have some of our top players on the channel to discuss how they did with Drytron as well. So if you want to stick around and see that, you got to hit that sub button and smash that like button, alright? We're also going to do a combo tutorial with my particular build that I think was a really strong pick for this event. But don't worry, we're also going to be changing it up. We're going to be trying out new things, and if you want to see all that stuff happen live, be sure to slide over to the Twitch stream, link in the description down below. I don't want to preface this too much. Huge shout out to Andrew Dullick, aka Grim YuGiOh, leader of Team Grim YuGiOh, who also top 4'd that event. Check him out on our YouTube channel, and shout out to your playmat. Check him out in the link in the description down below. I've prefaced this way too much already. You already know Drykage here, Drytron best deck. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Logan JYA here, and oh my goodness, YCS Hartford this weekend was amazing. I got to meet so many wonderful duelists. Thank you to all of you who came up to me and said what's good. All of you who shout out the Drykage, you know I appreciate you. It was so much fun, and dude, meeting all the other content creators, spending time with the likes of Stephen J. Trifonowski, Tatsum, and a whole bunch of others was just, you know, beyond memorable. But I gotta show you guys the list that I played. I made it to day 2, and I lost in the last round of the main event to a very unfortunate brick hand. I'll talk more about that later. At the end of the video, we're gonna do a tournament report, like recollection, to the best of my ability, because I'm an idiot and I didn't track it while we were going through it. But I think I can remember for the most part. So I'll show you what I played. I'll talk about my Drytron list and what I would do differently in future events. But overall, I liked it. I really liked it. And I think you guys are going to like it too. It's a pretty strong build. So without further ado, let's hop into it. Alright guys, you know I'm going to run through the basics super quick. 3 alpha, of course, 3 zeta, oh yes, 3 gamma, we maxing it, and 3 delta. So I'm playing a 50 card list. I'm going to flag that right now, and we maxed out on the names. I don't think there's much to explain there. I think Miles did a very similar thing with his build. Again, guys, I think we had 5 or 6 Drytron players make day 2, myself included, and I think we had like 3 to 4, or maybe it was 3, who made it into top 32. 2 in top 16 and 1 in top 4. Obviously, guys, Drytron is tier 1 once again. Now, were these builds similar to mine? I still have to watch Justin's like full breakdown. Haven't had the chance to do so yet because I kind of want to give my fresh take before talking about things like that. But I did do a profile with Miles, and we are going to have him on to do a combo tutorial in the near future. So absolutely, guys, stay in touch for that. His profile is really cool. So all of our builds that made day 2 were significantly different. So just putting that out there right now. Moving on from the Drytron names, of course they're maxed out. We got 2 copies of Diviner in the main. I'm playing a thick fairy package. I'm going to say that right now. So 2 Diviners, 2 orange lights in the main, and 1 Lancia as our searchable cards, of course, because I actually didn't mind hard drawing orange light. There's a bunch. Dude, I actually got to orange light a droll, which was nice. I didn't have to orange light any shifters, thank goodness, but that's also because the Flunderies players that I played against weren't fortunate enough to see it, which is good for us, which is why they got waxed. So thank goodness for that, because I don't like that deck. So we've got the Lancia, and of course, we've got the 1 Vanity's Ruler because it's part of our win con in this particular build, okay? Guys, for those of you who remember, this is very similar to my first list that dropped right after the ban list. I believe it was 14.0, so it's very similar to that, but we changed it and adapted it in a way that I thought would be formidable for a long-term tournament, being able to play going first or second. And also, I'll talk about this more during the tournament report section. I won 3 die rolls out of day 1 and day 2, which was ridiculous, and I still won a bunch of matches. Anyway, Virtual Monsters. 2 Cyber Angel Benten, absolutely mandatory. Let's crack those cards back at 2. I'm glad Konami decided to give us a boost. They're like, alright, let's throw Drytron something. And they're gonna regret it, baby. We're gonna make them regret it. 1 copy of Ida 10. I played Ida 10 in this particular build because with the combos that we're trying to do, it does help facilitate some of our perfection plays. Yes, we are playing perfection. I'm sure if you saw the thumbnail, you kind of put that together. But yeah.
And then our cracked card, Natasha, won so many games off of this. I won in time off of it once. It was just circumstantial. Wasn't trying to stall or anything. It kind of just happened to be that we were going into time. I needed to use Natasha, and it was the only way I could win, even after getting Masquerade burned. So it worked out. That is it for the Cyber Angels, and finally we've got the Perfection goated card because it's part of our main combo line. We play the pre-preparation of rights. 2 names plus a way to Benten equals Perfection plus Vanity's Ruler, unless the way to Benten is Diviner, in which case you're only going for Perfection, which is still freaking insane, guys. This is an Omni negate that you can use multiple times per turn. If you only go for Perfection, it's pretty easy to lock it up with 2 to 3 negates. If you go for, you know, just names and Benten into Perfection plus Ruler, you're usually ending up with 1 to 2 negates on the Perfection, which is obviously not ideal. You'll usually end up with 2 with a live Orange Light. You have to choose if you want Orange Light plus Follow-Up or Orange Light plus Lancia, and you have to choose if you want to shotgun the Lancia. It gets really tricky, and those are some of the things that punished me. Like, I remember I shotgunned a Lancia against a going second Ad Ignister player, not knowing what he was playing, and that was one of my losses. It was insane. I did not like playing in that matchup. I didn't really like that at all. That was just a terrible experience in general, but hey, took me back to the PPG. Moving on from there. The 1 copy of Draconids. We're still maining the Draconids. I think I only summoned him a few times, but when I did, it was actually pretty big. I remember I was playing against a Despia player who drolled me, and I was able to go into, and I was going second, so I was still able to end on, even after getting drolled, Draconids plus Zeus with a live send, and we were able to wax him in that game, which was very fortunate, and we won that match. So Draconids was important. Glad I played it. Moving into the spell lineup. I love this card, obviously, but I'll just say it now. In the final round of day 2, before top cut, the reason why I didn't make it is I drew the worst hand of all time. I'll just show it to you right now. I drew triple copies of this Cyber Emergency. I drew 1 nice little Forbidden Droplets, and I also drew our boy Vanity's Ruler. It was the most unplayable hand I've ever seen. It was the most unplayable hand I had the entire event. A statistical improbability. This was my opening hand, and when it mattered most, caused me to lose the game, caused me to lose the match. Lost the die roll against Despia, lost game 1 because I didn't expect there to be a call by the grave. He had 1 extra set card. I'm like, if this is an imperm, I'm fine. If it's a droplets, I'm fine. If it's a call by, I wasn't thinking it was a call by. It was a call by, it waxed me, he hit a name, and it made me miscalculate. I was only able to Black Rose him, and he was able to get me on the clapback, so he had me there. And then game 2, I just bricked massively, so it was super duper unfortunate, because Despia is not a terrible matchup for us. It's just, in that situation, we got caught off guard. Anyway, moving on. We got the triple copies of what am I saying? That was the last card. Triple copies of Drytron Nova. Absolutely goated. Again, we're playing 50 and we're maxing out every way to get to names and the names themselves. Main decking 1 copy of Fafnir as well as another copy of either Nova or Medionis Drytron. You guys already know how we do. Playing triple copies of Preparation of Rights, because this plus our other god card, Pre-Preparations of Rights, is an FTK. I saw Preprep or Preprep Benten or Alpha Name Preprep like enough where it was really good. And also when I was going second, this would eat interruptions. This would eat hand traps. And if they didn't interrupt this, then I got super duper punished. That's why I also enjoyed playing a higher fairy count in the main deck, because it gave me fodder for the Perfection itself. It really worked out. Again, I know it's a 50 card list and it looks a little odd, and you could probably be like, oh, I could cut these cards, get down to like 44, 42. You don't want to. It's controlled chaos. It really is. The ratios are weird, but it works out. And I also want to flag the fact we had a 74% chance going, you know what, I'll talk about that in a second. Anyway, 1 copy of Dawn of the Herald to go with the pre-prep. There's times you'll be searching that off Zeta as well. Just want to put that out there. Alright, our hard-going second cards, guys, we had triple Dark Ruler No More in the main, and triple copies of the Forbidden Droplets. Jordy was right, this was insane. Playing both of these was absolutely worth it in every single way possible. I'm glad I played both of them. It gave me a chance against some of these more tricky matchups. I remember I won the die roll against Punk Therion, and I was able to 2-0 him because I had Dark Ruler in hand. One of my favorite memories was playing against a Sword Soul player, where he took game 1, I took game 2, he went first game 3, puts up Chow Fang plus Barone and a set back row, and my hand is all gas. I've got Cyber Emergency, Nova, Preparation of Rights, all this good stuff. but no way to deal with the Chow Fang, and I'm just bugging, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess this is where we're going to get knocked out. I draw my card for turn, and it was Forbidden Droplets. Absolutely obliterated that, man. It was so easy after that. So, dude, I'm glad I played all these. 74% chance of opening up either Droplets, Dark Ruler, or Pot of Prosperity when going second. Shout out to my boy Ditio, who he ran the geometric calculator with. He kind of showed me how it works properly. So, honestly, it was good. Prosperity was insane. I honestly think this is going to be a staple in some of my particular Drytron builds going forward. Mostly for the fact that it reaches for those going second cards. Considering how many die rolls I lost, there's so many times where I was grabbing Droplets, Dark Ruler, or in games 2 and 3, grabbing evenly matched off of Pot of Prosperity. I remember that significantly against the Despia player, where it was my 6th card. I went for 6 on Prosperity, hit the evenly matched, and I was just like, perfect, and I was able to obliterate him. Absolutely insane. So Pot of Prosperity, big time, and I know it sucks. That's a big money card. I can't really think of a replacement for it because of the purpose, the specific purpose it serves. Anyway, last 2 things are 1-ups. We've got the 1 Foolish Burial and the 1 Call by the Grave. Of course, they're insane cards. We'll go through the extra deck real quick. Not going to be too much to say here outside of things I would change. I would say, in the main deck, I don't think I'd change anything. Maybe, like, I don't even think I misplayed throughout the event. It was just that last match that was really unfortunate circumstances, and losing so many die rolls that put me in a rough situation. If we won one more die roll that day, I guarantee, well, we won a lot of the matches where we lost the die roll. I don't know what to say, guys. All I'm saying is it was more so circumstance, less so the playstyle. I'm not even trying to flex. I'm just saying that that's how it was. Moving on into the extra deck, we've got 2 copies of Moivita Fafnir. I'm not going to explain that. This card's getting cut. The Lyrilusc Assembled Nightingale. I played this for the event and I never summoned it once. I banished off Prosperity almost every time. It was in there for a very specific purpose, which was when I was playing against Flunderees, if I saw Droplets or Dark Ruler, being able to negate their stuff, go in for a direct attack, or if I also saw a Diviner and then popping the Barrier Statue and then going into the Lyrilusc, going in for a direct attack. And it would be able to deal with some of the problem stuff. Zeus the board via Zeus. But no, you know what's better than this card? Fuko. 100%. I think Justin was playing Fuko. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, dude, Fuko is the way. I'm cutting this card for Fuko 100%. So, because running into a Despia board, Fuko cannot be Mirror Jaded, and everyone's summoning their Mirror Jades in defense. So it's like, alright, cool. I can just clank into this. And if they burn their Mirror Jade earlier, then cool, you just summon Moibeta instead. But whole point is, you should be playing Fuko. The 1 Downer Magician, of course, mandatory. And the 1 copy of Beatrice. It still comes up. It plays very well with our side deck. There was a few times where I had to summon it throughout the event. And I'll talk about this a bit more when I get into the side deck. There's another big thing I wish I changed there. But yeah, Beatrice isn't going anywhere. The 1 copy of Zeus. Finally got my hands on the pretty one, guys. Shout out to my boy Nishad, bro. Absolute legend. That's it for the Exceeds. We'll move on from there. 1 Relinquished Anima. Dude, people are such dinguses. You have no idea how many Masquerades. I think I stole, like, Masquerades from 2 different players throughout the day of the event with Anima. So I'm glad I played Anima over Linkuriboh. It's pretty easy to play around not having the Linkuriboh, but yeah, it was really good. I played the 1 IP Masquerena. This was huge. It was part of my standard end board. I would end on IP, Vanity's Roller Perfection, and there's so many times where I would put up that board in game 2 after wax, like, or game 2 after if I lost game 1, and the opponent would just auto scoop, and then I'd wax him in game 3 because the side deck would come in. The side deck was really strong. So yeah, IP, insane, really important. We've got multiple targets to tag out into it. I played the 1 Nightmare Phoenix. I think I only summoned it when I was link climbing. Oh my goodness, and there's one big moment where it came up where I had to summon it to battle protect an Apollosa, which was really cool. It actually saved me the game against a Despia player, which won me the match. So that was really cool, that its battle protection effect came in big time. So I love this card. I'm thinking about cutting it for the Herald of the Mirage Light. I know I played that in my first build. I've been switching on and off of it. Since I'm not playing the Anima, obviously I don't get the draw off the Unicorn effect, but I don't know, it's, excuse me, the Phoenix effect. But I don't know what I'm going to end up deciding on. It's TBD. I'm testing both right now. So obviously either one is correct at this moment in time, but this is a possible slot I would change for that. Nightmare Unicorn's not going anywhere. It's definitely a Prosperity banish if you're going second digging for side deck cards, but going first, of course, it's awesome to tag into off of IP. Your other option to tag into off of IP is the Apollosa. Seldom will you ever actually summon this on the first turn, but you absolutely could. It's just, like, instead of sucking up 4 cards and going into this plus Perfection, I like ending on the IP more. That way, in case they have Lightning Storm, you can chain the IP, and you're -1 negate but guarantee battle protection. You summon Perfection defense anyway, so you're 100% being chilling. I think, you know, just little things like that, good to be prepared for. And of course, it's implying that you ran out of Perfection Negates, so of course. This card, Boral Sword, of course, always playing this, never going back to Access Code. I think I tested Access Code for a little bit there and I hated it. So, yep, Boral Sword's my guy, never changing that in Drytron. And Synchros, goated card right here. Black Rose Dragon, put in so much work throughout the event. Absolutely legendary. Highly encourage you guys to play it. You punish Despia players who don't set up the branded opening and you're able to burst through their board. There are times where I normal summon Diviner and send Herald acting like I really needed the search, go for a Nova or a name that they wouldn't interrupt. They wouldn't mirror jade me until they thought I was either going into Moy Beta or something else more relevant, and then I'd summon Black Rose. And since they didn't have opening, they were absolutely screwed. Just wiped everything. It was insane. So yeah, Black Rose, super duper good. The one Herald of the Arclight mandatory, and the one Endus. So yeah. That's the extra deck. That's everything there. Side deck. We got some gas in here, all right? And I get a quick shout out to my boy Ditia, who really helped me work on the side deck here. And there are some things I changed in here, and I'll talk about those when we get to them. Triple Cop is a Lava Golem. Very, very good. I think I only summoned it once or twice during the tournament, but it's Lava Golem, guys. This is our version of a Kaiju. Clears 2 monsters. All you have to do is not normal summon Diviner that turn, which is totally fine. This came in every time against Sword Soul. I would always bring in Lava Golem, and I would keep in my Perfection package. That includes the Prepreps and the Rituals, and I would side out the Vanity's Ruler and one of the Diviners, and like one other random card, and it would be perfectly fine. So Lava Golem was always coming in that matchup, because it was essential, especially if they set up the Chow Fang board, like you needed an easy way to clear it. And Prosperity helped us dig for things like this, too. So that's like our only real monster outside of the Necro World Banshee, which we paired with the Zombie World. I think I only played against 1 or 2 Flunder players. I think I played against 2. One of them was an absolute wash, and the other one, it was a bit closer. He was really, really good. I think it was the first round of day 2 that I played against him, and it was very fortunate that I was able to smoke him, because he baited me a little bit with my Perfection Negates, but I was able to set up the Necro Banshee with the Zombie World. He was able to out it, but we were still able to outgrind him, which was really good, because we put him under Lancia, because we were able to search it. So yeah, but anyway, this is absolutely essential. You have to play this for when you're going first against the Flunder matchup, just to make it an easy win. If you win the die roll against Flunder, you should win the match. Even if you set a Vanity's Ruler, you should still have Perfection with 1 to 2 negates, or Lancia, you should still be winning. You can tag out the IP and the Vanity's Ruler into a Unicorn to shuffle back problematic cards like the map. You should be big and chilling in that matchup. Moving on from there, Triple Cop is a Twin Twister, essential for almost all matchups. I will also say that when I went first against Despia decks, I would bring in the Twin Twisters for the slots of the Dark Rulers, just because it objectively does more, and it's a card that they don't expect. Also, obviously, we all know how cracked Mystic Mind was at this event. I got Mystic Mind once. I wasn't... I also want to flag that I do think I'm going to sneak in and out to mine in the future into the main deck. I think we have to do it. I don't want to auto-scoop to Mystic Mine anymore. Yeah, it's absolute BS, but it is what it is. And I'll tell you what, we're also doing the same thing to our opponents, because we side deck triple copies of mine. I remember when I was playing against Punk Therion round 1, and it was my first round of the day, and game 1 I went first and I waxed him. It was one of the 3 die rolls that I won. And then game 2, I brought in Mystic Mine. I saw it off of Prosperity, I slapped it down and I won. I felt kind of bad about it, I felt pretty dirty about it, but that's just how it is, man. And there's a lot of people who get hit with it. But shout out to my boy Willie, who also, he brought in the Cosmic to out this, and I was like, oh crap. So he was able to kill me. He was one of my losses. He was able to kill me, even though I had a set droplets and a set call by. I was like, okay, I should be able to survive an all-out assault from Despia, even if he's able to out the Mystic Mine and then slap up another Mystic Mine the next turn. I was ready for the Branded in Red. I was ready for all the monsters. Was not ready for the Super Poly. The Super Poly is what did us in. But shout out to my boy Willie, because that was fair. And then next, we got the Evenly Matched. Absolutely cracked. You have to play this card. You have to play this card. This card's insane. I don't even need to explain it. And then the last card of the side deck was the Red Reboot. I think I brought it in maybe against Flunder, and that was it. And I never saw it. So that's it for the deck profile, guys. Oh my goodness. YCS Hartford, what a good time. I swear to God, 10 out of 10 would do again. If you guys want to see a video that's exclusively Drytron combos, be sure to smash that like button. Let's get over to 150 likes and we will absolutely do it. I'm going to do I think I went through most of the tournament report throughout this video, but if you guys have any specific questions, you want to talk about matchups, you know, let me just do a quick general matchup. I played against, I want to say 4 or 5 Despia. I lost to 2 of them. I had 3 losses total. 2 to Despia, 1 to that Adignister player, which blows my mind. So I think we finished X3 at the end of the event, which sucks, obviously. It's not that good. But we still made day 2, which was admirable at best. So, let's see. Yeah, we played against 4 or 5, something like that, like 4 or 5 Despias. Played against 1 to 2 Flunders, 2 Sword Souls, I know that one for a fact, that 1 Adignister player, 2 Punk Therions. Yeah, so I think that was it. It was mostly meta that we played against. I didn't play against a single mirror match, which is kind of surprising because Drytron was pretty well represented at this event. Obviously, it was in the top cut, and I saw a lot of people playing it, and I thought that was a really cool thing. A lot of people came up to me and said, "What's good, Drykage?" The people who did that, I love you guys. And if you didn't even do it, I still love you because you're watching this video right now. But I think that's a pretty good general gist of what happened for YCS Hartford. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Again, smash 150 likes. We'll get you guys a combo tutorial with this particular build. We'll do like a whole bunch of test hands, like 2-card combos, 3-card combos, the works. We're also going to have Miles come on for an interview in the near future, hopefully soon. And we may even have even more Drytron stuff in the works with some of the best Drytron players from the US and around the world. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. Don't forget to smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And that's all I got. Logan, JYA, signing off. Have a great day. I'll see you chumps later. Peace.
四月四角い空心の隙間埋める